Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, November 11th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is, I value the lessons my shadow brings me. Happy 11/11. Personally, this is one of my favorite repeat days. I love that I have multiple people who love to send me little signs of love at 11:11 their time on some days, and that always feels really nice, and I share that with you. Maybe today 11/11 you can send a little love out into the world just to help balance, help align all these energies. So this week we have Venus shifting, we have a solar yod. I was talking about that a little bit last week, but we have it reaching it. We have Saturn direct this week. We have a full moon direct this week. And I think we have one more thing. Oh, yeah, Sun and Uranus dancing this week. So definitely a big astro week. Monday, 11/11, starts off quite a bit going on. We have, like I mentioned, our solar yod. So I started talking about this last week because we were building into it last week. Today we have like the exact point of it. And so this is where we have Jupiter in Gemini feeding into the sun in Scorpio and Chiron in Aries feeding in. So just a reminder, the yod is a reminder, like, this is important. This configuration is important, but specifically this lesson of Sun in Scorpio is a very important aspect of this yadi energy. And so Sun in Scorpio is like, don't be afraid of your shadow. Know how to set your boundaries, and see where you can, instead of pointing the finger, ultimately phoenix the issue and empower yourself. Bringing that power back to yourself is a big lesson of Sun in Scorpio and being responsible with it. So with Jupiter in Gemini in retrograde feeding in, it's a good reminder, boundaries for your mind. And is your mind empowering you, or is your mind often undermining you, right? Like, I definitely know that my mind can be an underminer, which is why I have to stay on top of my mind or else it's on top of me, and that's never good. So we have that on one aspect. We also have Chiron and Aries retrograde as well on the other side of things, and this is a reminder of like who you are, shadows and all, mental hijinks and all, is wonderful, beautiful. Like, this walk is, I don't want to say it's a healing walk. I don't know how to say that in a better way, though, because it's not necessarily a healing walk, but it's a shedding walk, a shedding of layers of anything that's not you, of anything that no longer belongs. And this includes layers of energies that we have from other lifetimes, projections that we've taken on from others. And all of this is shedding as we empower ourselves, as we utilize helpful boundaries, and as we, again, call the power back to ourselves and recognize the source of power moving through us. So that yod going on. We also have Venus today shifting signs. Venus is moving out of Sagittarius into the sign of Capricorn. That's happening at 10:26 a.m. Pacific time. So we have a morning of Venus at 29 Sagittarius. So might be some Venus hijinks. You might want to, I don't know, get some last minute pleasure parties in before Venus moves into pragmatic. Have ice cream for breakfast is what I'm saying. Before we have Venus moving into pragmatic Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn values its place in society most highly. And it's one of those things, right? Good or bad, I don't know. Because sometimes people value their place in society so much that they put on a mask to make themselves look good, to make themselves look better. But I also think it's beautiful to recognize the power of your place in society, because each one of us has purpose and place in society. That's where I like to lean into the Capricorn vibe, is leaning into purpose. And so Venus in Capricorn has us leaning into purpose. So be aware of that. And again, purpose is beyond the work that you do, the charity that you give. Your purpose is you being you and you following that soul path. So hopefully with Venus in Capricorn, we can find that alignment for ourselves. It will be at 0 today, so things may feel a little graceless, things may feel a little wonky. And I just encourage you to be aware of where you may feel like you need to wear a mask, where you feel like you can't have a guilty pleasure. No need to have guilt around your pleasure. Enjoy what you enjoy, but watch for where you may be shoulding on yourself. That's what Capricorn energies can sometimes do. Capricorn, Saturn, they can be like, well, this is how it's supposed to be. The supposed to is different for all of us, so keep that in mind. Moon in Pisces is continuing through most of the day. Moon in Pisces is connecting into Jupiter, just to support that Jupiter Yod energy. It is a square, and that might be like, again, reminding our mind to stay open, reminding the mind that we know so much, and yet there's so much beyond what we see and know. It's important to keep our minds open. Sun and Moon connecting, that's going to be first thing in the morning. Might feel a little emotional, might feel a little watery, might feel a little, why would I get out of bed? Maybe for some ice cream. See that ice cream comes in handy. I'm not telling you to have ice cream. Just enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy that 29 Sagittarius. Like, let that pleasure help carry you in through the zeros. We do have some lazy cat in the afternoon as the moon in Pisces connects to Uranus. That also might be a little triggery. And that's kind of the point as well of that, like, Scorpio yacht. Those things that trigger you, the things that bother you, the things that are bubbling up from the subconscious, value them because they're helping you become a more you-ier you, a more gooey-er you-ier you. I can be the next Dr. Seuss, only not racist. Anyway, but a gooey-er you, facing the triggers, facing the shadow, facing the discomfort, that helps. Moon and Neptune meeting late in the evening or later in the evening. Moon and Pluto meeting later in the evening. Again, there just might be some stuff coming up from the subconscious that you're having to feel your way through, and that's okay. That is part of the work today in this 11/11 energy. Moon into Aries is going to light a little spark, and I will say that Moon in Aries plus Sun in Scorpio definitely can be a little spicy. So just be aware the spice is kicking up. That Moon in Aries will square Venus newly in Capricorn in the evening as well. So you may find your temper tantrum self not looking up to what you would like to put out there. And yet we all have temper tantrums at times, right? Those layers move through. Let's look at the cards that we have going on here. Oh, we had two major arcana cards. They're not upside down. I just picked them up this way. We have awareness. So we're peeling through these layers. I love this for today. And as we peel through the layers, keep in mind your innocence to so much of this energy. Even if you find some part of yourself you don't like, it's okay. It's okay. Just keep being present with it and know, like, the innocence of your soul, your beingness. This is also a call to shed the light. It's also a call to be, like, taught by those energies. So there's so many layers here for us. There's also these kind of layers, the projection layers. So be aware that those might be some of what you're putting on. Some of what might be in your subconscious is what others have said to you about you that never really jived, and you put it away like, oh, I'm this and I feel ashamed of it. And meanwhile, it's just their projection and not even something real. So be aware of those layers coming on as well. Final card, patience. Just a little patience in and through this watery process, the graceless process. Anytime Venus is at 0, I always think we need a little extra patience because it just doesn't feel as, like, lovely. So I also pulled this card agrees with me. Ice cream for breakfast. Candy cane angel. And the card says it's time for a treat. So again, in that 29 Sagittarius, lend a little treat to yourself. Lend a little goodness. Don't go overboard. But just to help, take the edge off of the gracelessness that we might be feeling. So good luck today, 11/11. It's going to be a beautiful day. Align your mind for the goodness, but be aware where you have to move through those other energies. Besides that, you can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. For you are the solution. Namaste.